The Jets brought in some reinforcements. Okay, we'll talk about it. And also absolutely crippling and devastating injury news ahead of week 8. That sucks. We'll talk about it, though. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I am Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe as you're coming on in. We have an article in the YouTube description down below on the brand new Jet that just joined the roster last night. Plus, we'll get into the final injury report and so much more here on the program. But let's bring in my special cohort for a Saturday episode. That is Pop on Pop.
Hey now. Good morning, Coffee Club. You should start this day off right by taking that like button to Pound Town. If you haven't shared the stream, share the stream, share the dream.
There you go. I like that. That rhymes, and that's something I can get jiggy with. Speaking of getting jiggy, let me throw another plug up for this because this is now open to the public. I got to speak to the icon Mike Greenberg, a.k.a. Greeny. Again, every single person, whether you're a Boy Green Coffee Club member or not, are now eligible to view that interview. I got to speak with Greeny for 30 minutes. He just got a haircut. Thanks, Greeny, for that. I'm sure that's exactly the reason he got that haircut. It was for that Boy Green interview he was doing. That's the second time I've had the opportunity to speak to Greeny, an absolute icon. When me and Pop used to be driving around town all over the place, I grew up on Mike and Mike, baby, and everything Greenberg's done, and he's a Jets guy as well, so all of it's all connected, and he's a big reason I got into this business. So a big shout out to Mike Greenberg. Again, that full interview is available in my video playlist. So guys, make sure you check it out. It's also in the Boy Green's biggest interview playlist as well. So Mike Greenberg, we talked about Aaron Glenn's future, finding the next Jets quarterback. We didn't talk any Jets Bengals, so we'll save that conversation for today, Pop. Just me and you.
All right, just us. No one else is here. We can say whatever we want because no one's listening.
100%. Well, before we dive in full on Jets Bengals, I see MFC hit the re-sign button, baby. He's back. Love it.
Hey now.
There you go. MFC rejoined the Boy Green Coffee Club himself, not waiting for a membership to be gifted to him. He's like, I'll just hit that re-sign button, which is the pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. You guys can join the Boy Green Coffee Club. If you had already, you would have saw that Greeny interview 24 hours before anybody else. One of the many perks of the Boy Green Coffee Club. And MFC, is paying it forward. He gifted himself a membership, and now he's gifting the universe a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Very nice. Pop, who'd that membership go to?
L.A.
All right, very nice. All right, that is 11 raffle tickets this month for our guy MFC, which is just outside our top 5 leaderboard. So MFC, keep those memberships flowing and the same to all the people out in our universe. All right, Pop, let's get to the first bit of news, which is yesterday. The Jets have been sort of active this season when opportunities present itself to claim a player off of waivers, and they did that again yesterday, claiming Kobe King. What a great name. The Minnesota Vikings waived their rookie linebacker who they drafted this past April. They drafted him a handful of months ago. He's the 201st overall pick in the 6th round. Kobe King was released because he's a rookie and has not had enough NFL service time. He is subject to waivers, so every one of the other 31 teams have the chance to snag this guy, and the Jets have the number one waiver wire priority because they stink, of course. They're 0-7, so it's good that they're utilizing this. This is a unique opportunity to add talent to the roster. Not enough of us talk about it. So if you stink, why not be constantly combing through the waiver wire to see if there are players that you could take advantage of? And the Jets do this here. So they get Kobe King, a very talented player who's been a key special teamer this year for the Minnesota Vikings, but we haven't seen him much on defense, only 3 snaps on the defensive side of the ball. But this replaces that Mark Robinson signing they had a couple of weeks ago. So it seems sort of like a 1-for-1 linebacker trade here, Pop.
Yeah, I think when I commended Aaron, I haven't commended Aaron Glenn a lot lately.
No.
But I have commended him earlier in the offseason when he was, doing the fringe things, right? When he signed the German strongman, I gave him credit because you get a roster exemption, that ability, really scouring. And then the trade that seemed like a senseless trade, why the Titans would do it, that we got Brownlee, that this is what this feels like, right? Because we didn't sign him so he can make an impact tomorrow. We signed him because we see something there, and it strengthens the special teams unit. And who knows, Jamie and Sherwood, nobody had him on their bingo chart one person did last year, but nobody had him on their bingo chart last year, as he was going to evolve. So this is a good developmental opportunity, taking advantage of being the number one. Jets are number one on the waiver wire. So
they sure are. And when you claim a player, you absorb and inherit their contract. So Kobe King was a 6th-round pick, which means any player that's a non-first-round pick gets a 4-year standard contract. So long story short, all that fancy mumbo-jumbo just means you get him for dirt cheap for another 3.5 years. The half is the rest of this season, then 3 more years after that if you decide to keep him on the 53-man roster moving forward, which is what they did. When you claim a player, they're automatically sent to the 53-man roster. So nice there for the Jets, and let's see if he ends up being anything for the green and white, but wanted to give a big shout out. And he's apparently this big hitter coming out of college. So, hey, we can use more of those on the team. I'm all about it. Something else I'm all about, Pop, is more memberships being gifted from the high heavens.
Hey now.
NC Green, who we met and was a big contributor to our Wounded Warrior project over the last couple of months, which we appreciate, NC Green. Every time 5 memberships or more are gifted, we must play a video ensemble.
Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
16 raffle tickets for NC Green this month. Who are the new 5, Pop?
Yeah, so it looks like it's Will M,
Okay. Sure.
Dre Day, the Jets fan, Dan, the Jets fan 21, E, the Key, and Rockman Z 205.
There we go, baby. Thank you, NC Green, for spreading the love. Again, you guys can gift channel memberships if you'd like. It's you hit that money sign you're watching on YouTube. Final option is gift channel memberships. You can gift as many as you'd like. You get raffle tickets for our contest and also get to spread the gospel of all things Boy Green Daily. So NC Green, thank you very much. And also shout out Havmo. I see great interview, BG. You're a pro. Need to know. Go Jets. Yes, it's I love getting to interview people. It happens sort of sporadically. So if you're on the channel, that'll happen from time to time, whether it's big time guest or some of my favorites. Either way, it's always good time. So Havmo, thank you very much.
Did you know that Havmo, was a little known fact? I want to make sure everybody captured this.
Okay.
That he is a trendsetter. He likes to look to the future. He likes to do things out of the box. So he went to the tailgate as easy.
Which I'm sure was much appreciated since a lot of people were looking for him. Oh, wait, Pop, we have to do this. Did you watch the show yesterday?
I don't think so. No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, I watched the first few minutes and I went to CrossFit.
Okay, good. Well, good. That's very healthy. I need to look into that. But Pop, something happened. Speaking of this Mike Greenberg interview and everything, which I've got his book right here. Again, Got Your Legends. And essentially what the book is all about is a bunch of Mount Rushmores for every sports franchise, NFL, MLB, hockey, NBA, everything. And yes.
Yeah, on that. By the way, that's on my Christmas list. Imamji, love you. Shout out there. That's on my Christmas list. So, the 2 things that stood out to me, not to jump in line, but since you had the book up, the 2 things that jump out to me that were very, very intriguing. They ranked the 124 sports teams across all 4 major sports from 1 to 24 where the franchises fell. And then they did the Mount Rushmore.
Correct.
So you get your team, okay, they're ranked this, and there's the 4 best players. So I think that's, and I just started running through my head for some of the team. I'm like, who's that? There's that. But with all that being said, I have one question for you.
Okay, sure.
And I know that this may be slanted based on the author of the book. We went through who the Mount Rushmore was for the Jets, and I think it would have been one difference for me, and of one of the players that would not have got on, and not in a, all the 5 players they considered were all Hall of Famers for the Jets, and I just would have had a of who would have been on there and who wouldn't have been on there. But anyways, what was the number that the Jets ranked out 1 to 124, taking into account that Greeny, by his own moniker, is one of the sick-headed ones, a New York Jets fan. So where did he place? We'll see how realistic his ranking was.
So I already know this. So if this was a trivia game,
it'd be
cheating because I read the book already. But yes, do you know what it is?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, well then let me flip it on you, and I'll ask you. Trivia music, cue the people behind the scenes again. So, folks, again, just real quick again, got your legends, Mike Greenberg and Hembo. This book is ranking America's sports franchises and their most iconic figures. So, to what my pop just said, that's every major sport, every major team. They rank the teams from 1 to 124, and then Mount Rushmore to every team. So, their top 4 of the people that were most impactful. Could be coaches, broadcasters, players, could be anything. So, my father's question was that now he has to answer himself is, where did the New York Jets rank of all the franchises? Because it ranked the franchise's quote-unquote greatness as well in it. Pop, there's 124. Where did the Jets rank in your mind?
Yeah, so I think Hembo is like a Philly fan. I think I listen to the show every once in a while. I may be wrong on that.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he's a Philly fan. Okay. But anyways, so I am going to give you a realistic answer, which may or may not be appropriate, as, again, we know that the author of the book is a lifelong Jets fan. So I'm going to give you what, in my opinion, is a realistic. So there are a lot of bad franchises out there, and I'm not talking about the Jets when I say bad. I mean, like, that I would say that I immediately, off the top of my head, the Jets are in the top 100. So I'm dropping off. I could name off 24, like, garbage. You could go through pretty quickly and get the Jets into single digits.
So let me ask you real quick. Are you going to provide 2 answers? What you think it should be and what you think he did? Okay.
I'll do that. All right. So I think a realistic, based on the history of the Jets, and I didn't get this from the interview, but there was there, there is some prestige of being a team from New York, both ways, like loved, hated. I mean, obviously fans are generational in the Jets. Some are deluded like you by your grandfather. But
and just to clarify one more time, only Hembo and Greeny were the only 2 deciding this 124 ranking. No one else is on the panel. It was those 2, and then on any we didn't have time to get into this, unfortunately, but any disagreements, they basically hashed out themselves.
Yeah, and unlike, like, you give credit for guests. Like, I think you asked somebody what percentage of the ocean has not been explored.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Easy's like somewhere between 40 and 95. And you're like,
I think he was close. I think he said 75 to 80. That's pretty good. It was a 5%.
And you didn't go say it was more than 15%. I'm like, what the hell? You give him credit for that?
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Jets are going to be somewhere between 101 and 100. Oh, Pop, you did great. All right. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, so they have had flashes of brilliance, under the Rex Ryan times.
Sure.
Since then, it's been pretty sparse in a few areas.
Okay.
And so I'm going to say realistically, I'm going to give a range. If you hold me down to it, I'm going to say they're between 80 and 90.
Okay. And is that just where you believe both of those answers? Remember, you said you'd give 2 answers?
No, I think Greeny's going to be around 50 to 60.
Okay. So you're wrong on both.
Okay, good. That's fine.
And I think, as a matter of fact, Greeny's fandom actually, I believe, hurt the ranking to be honest with you. Some fans are so more critical of their team because they're in it, and they're currently mired in 15 years of mediocrity. So I think that could be a prisoner of the moment thing. The Jets, and got your legends of ranking all the sports franchises, are triple digit. 100, 100, right even Steven, right on the 100 marker. That is where the Jets sit in the ranking for this.
Yeah. So I was in the neighborhood with my guess, 80 to 9, in the neighborhood. Not obviously, didn't get it.
Yeah.
But
you're
yeah,
easy, but sure.
Yeah. I could have gone 50 to 124. Yeah, I guess that's pretty fair. I'm looking forward to reading the book myself. And he has a few other titles that I think are neat that I put on the Christmas list as well. So
he does. He has three. This is the third book. He said they didn't write it to know it was going to be a series of books. They just happened to keep happening. And there you go. So, yeah, this is a really good book. It's a good debate piece. So you guys should really enjoy it out in the universe. And I'm glad that we had that little detour because I've been trying to avoid the topic I'm about to bring up for it. So you've only helped me in that endeavor.
I'll give you a little more delay.
Yes, yeah, please.
2 quick things. We got 5 more, a 5-pack given.
Okay, wait. Let's get the chimes, baby. A big shout out to Joshua Langley. Met him and Cecilia at our tailgate. They were terrific, and they were at the meet and greet the night before. I love Joshua. Love Cecilia. A great couple.
Great couple.
Absolutely great people. Let's hit them with this.
Number 44.
Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts.
Woo! Give me some!
It's the sound of lunch meat slapping that grocery floor.
I wonder if that was like they did the sound or if he actually, that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like, did
Correct.
They do a sound over? Or...
Because that's what, for those who don't know, one of my trips in college for SUNY Oswego was a movie class. And one of your final projects is they give you a movie scene that they strip all the sound out of it, and your job is to replace all the sound in the movie with your own. Like, hey, we listen to what it actually sounds like, and then we figure out like rubbing a aluminum can on the ground or something. Like, you had to come up with ways to create the sounds. That was a crazy cool class and a crazy cool final project there. So yeah, I don't know. I hope it's just genuine. I hope that just a big, I'll take a pound of roast beef. Hoo-yah! And just a whoosh, smack on the ground. So appreciate it. But anywho, Joshua Langley, that is 7 raffle tickets for our contest this month. Appreciate you. I'll show you guys those raffle items in a little bit. But Pop, who are the 5 new Boy Green Coffee Club members?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this. I'll call it mute vials.
Yeah.
Randy Martinez, M. Morris, Cred, and Joseph Freeman.
Okay, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. So keep the love coming. Thanks, everybody. We've had a surge this morning, which is terrific. Here are our raffle items. Shout out to Joshua and Cecilia gifting these memberships in here. Here's the prize pack. If you missed that tailgate that we've brought up all the time, well, we're bringing everything outside of the food to you for the tailgate. You're getting the T-shirt, koozie, Jets coaster, bottle openers. It's a fun Boy Green Woody tailgate package extravaganza coming there. Random vintage Jets player T-shirt from the past. New York Jets combine gear, which is pretty cool. And actually, some of the gear I'm wearing right now. So what I've done for some of the raffles is I know Jets employees in the building, and sometimes they come and go. And when they go, they just have a bunch of cool official New York Jets gear that they get. And sometimes it isn't even sold. It's just custom gear that they get. And they're like, hey, Paul, you want to buy some? I'm like, sweet. Yeah, give me a bulk bunch of your Jets items. And then sometimes I include some of those items in the giveaways. So it's my gift for me to you guys, some cool stuff in there. So yeah, we got a Jets Combine authentic gear, plus the 1975 official New York Jets yearbook cover. Shout out to Joey Matesic, who donated that item in, a wonderful Boy Green Coffee Club member as well. So much appreciated. All these items will be gifted to somebody on November 1st. And Bob, these prizes are pretty cool. But we're going to dive into a unique partnership for next month's raffle, and that is going to be an absolute doozy. I can't wait to unveil that one, and we'll unveil that on November 1st. So thank you, Joshua and Cecilia. Thank you for the membership.
Absolutely. All right, 2 more things, and we can go to your thing.
Oh, yes, sure.
The first one is, who do I think, who's my quarterback for the Cowboys? Troy Aikman or Roger Staubach?
I haven't taken a peek in here. Let me thumb through here.
Yeah, no,
go
we're not
ahead.
talking about the book. We're talking about.
I
my
know.
personal-
I just in general. I know, but I'm just sort of curious. I hadn't looked. So go ahead. What is it?
So
I
this
just finished America's Team yesterday. Have you watched that full
I have not
documentary yet?
finished it. I have not finished it.
It's some good stuff.
Yeah. So this is difficult for me. I'll just say that.
Okay.
This is difficult for me, and I'll tell you why. So I did not watch as much of Roger Staubach as I watched Troy Aikman, right? Being the age, I did watch some of Roger Staubach. I would say that Roger Staubach is one of the truly finest human beings on the planet. He is an amazing person, man, Christian, if you will. He lived in a different generation. You recognize that he did something that today would never happen, right? He won the Heisman Trophy, played for the United States Naval Academy. He won the Heisman Trophy. And then he went and served in the Navy for 4 years before he came to play for the Cowboys, right? That would never happen today. And then still, took the team to 5 Super Bowls. Tremendous person and quarterback. Troy Aikman, one of the most underrated. It's weird to say he's one of the most underrated 3-time Super Bowl winners, but he is as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put it all in a box, I got to go with Roger Staubach.
Okay.
Staubach. Although it's not, it is close mainly from my FCC, and I watched Troy play a whole lot more.
Which that makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, should we do it again for the Dallas Cowboys? Do you think you could get the 4 that they have in this book, Pop, for the Mount Rushmore for the Dallas Cowboys?
Wow, this is hard. And then we have to do one other Mount Rushmore, and it's a Mount Rushmore of your coffee club members.
Yes, that's what I was going. That's so funny how woo. That's what I was going to quiz you on your Mount Rushmore.
I will do that. I will do that right after this. So the Cowboys.
Yes.
This is difficult. There is so many.
And I want to clarify, not that this, don't let this affect you, I hope, but I just want to make sure that it's out there. This can include broadcasters, owners, players, anything. So anything within the Dallas Cowboys multiverse. I don't want to try to swing that to make it affect you. I'm just saying that for everybody, that if you guys purchase this book, which you should, it's great. All of those could be considered, but go ahead.
Wow. And that's really hard now because I wasn't considering these, and I'll go with I still won't, because I would tell you, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, I don't think I'll say these 2 things. It's very difficult. You're probably not having 2 head coaches in the Mount Rushmore. If one was going to be in the, I don't think you're having 2. And so, despite I'm not the, what have you done for me now generation, Tom Landry would have to be the one. Jimmy Johnson, with all due respect, and I truly mean with all due respect, if he got in ahead of Tom Landry, I would burn that book, because Tom Landry was the Cowboys, and he developed things that, Jimmy Johnson, very good, very talented, great at personnel, great at coach, but there aren't things in the NFL that exist because of Jimmy Johnson for the most part. There are things that truly exist. The passing offenses we know now was developed by Tom Landry. Anyways,
so is that your official guess?
I guess I'm gonna put Tom Landry. I think Bob Lilly.
Wait. I just want to go piece by piece. So I'll give you each time you're right or wrong. So Tom Landry is one of your official guesses?
It's got to be.
Well, it looks like that is a ding. You got one in there, Pop. Tom Landry is, I don't know if these are in order, but ding, he's the number 1 guy listed here. So Tom Landry, okay.
Yeah, I think it's got to be one of the old guys. But I'll tell you, I'm not, the Cowboys has had a history of amazing players, and
a lot of bragging going on right now.
No, you asked me this question, and so I would tell you that I don't know how you'd have a Cowboy Mount Rushmore without having Mr. Cowboy, which is Bob Lilly.
Did not make it.
Okay. And then you're going to pick a running back. I would say the running back is going to be Emmitt Smith. Tony Dorsett, beyond an honorable mention, great running back, Hall of Famer. But Emmitt Smith is obviously got to be the leading rusher of all time.
Ding! He just makes the end of the list.
Yeah, I don't think that's how the list goes. And I'd say if you're gonna have a quarterback, I'll go with Roger Staubach.
Ding! That's correct. You have one left on the list.
Yeah, so this is where it gets squirrely. Does Jerry Jones make it because he literally took a franchise that was in the toilet? It hasn't worked out in the past 30 years, but he's done some amazing things, and he has changed the way the NFL works. He has, not only did he do it for the Cowboys, taking all his chips and putting it in the middle, but what he's done for the NFL.
They talk about that in the documentary, by the way, America's Team on Netflix.
What he's done for the NFL is beyond crazy, right? He did brand before people even understood branding, right? He branded, you're the official soft drink of Texas Stadium.
And he was sued for that by the league.
Yeah, and they lost. So, and then they made a new arrangement. Now everybody's right. Nike. He had an individual deal with Nike.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I guess I will go with Jerry Jones.
Ding! That's correct. There you go. That's your 4. But they obviously talk about more in the book. You guys can get the book to hear all the other.
So which one did I get wrong again?
You got Bob Lilly, which again, hey, I love Bob Lilly, and you could have went Bullet Bob Hayes. I think there's a lot of old school.
Yeah, I don't think Bullet Bob Hayes' runway wasn't long enough, although he did revolutionize.
Well, to your point on Jimmy, coached 5 seasons, so you never know. Anywho, so I don't know if we need the trivia music anymore for this, but where this all started was, I said, did you watch a show yesterday? Was it sort of just came out from the book, Boy Green Coffee Club members, a Mount Rushmore Boy Green Coffee Club members. Now, there was some initial debate about who does that count? Does a guy like you count? Because you were initially discussed as for some, but they said like callers beyond sort of the immediate Boy Green multiverse. So Pop, everyone's on the edge of their seat. So I have all the numbers ready. We'll go piece by piece. Who is your Mount Rushmore of Boy Green Coffee Club members? It can be chatters, as Alon picked, people in the comment section. It can be regular callers, however you interpret it. So Boy Green Coffee Club people in your universe, who's on the Mount Rushmore?
So if I give a name, you can tell me if it doesn't count.
Okay. And are we going 4-1?
No.
Okay. So the order doesn't matter. But
the order does not matter.
Okay, here we go. So here's the first
Number
one.
4.
Yeah, although the order doesn't matter. I would go with the person besides your own blood, sweat, and tears that I believe has taken the coffee club further than it would ever have gone. And you're doing things now that would never have happened without this person. It may be at some point you might have done it, but and that is Jared B.
100%. Yeah, we have drum. I've never used these sounds before that come with StreamYard, but some weird bongo drums happening there. Not really sure there. But absolutely, I couldn't agree more. He should 100% be on the Mount Rushmore. They're just, to your point, like Discord. I knew of Discord because I've used it for work-related things, but I would have never thought like a Boy Green universe to exist on Discord. All Jared B deserves all the credit. Doesn't get enough credit. He does not call into the show. He's done it a few times in history, but most of his contributions come behind the scenes where people don't get to see it. But 100%, he should be on the list. 100%. Next.
Number 3.
Yeah. By the way, I think we'll do a bottom 4 after.
Oh, wow. Okay. No one's ever thought of to do that. That'd be interesting. All right.
And so I would tell you that, there's going to be 4, but there's going to be, it could be 10.
Sure,
or it could be more than that, So it's not.
Love that politically correct answer. Run for office.
No, I mean really, because some of it's going to get. I mean, there's a couple that are like, well, yeah, and then there's but this person, the next person, is beyond creative. By the way, so you know how weird everyone's listening to us now. So yes, I won a Lamborghini for Christmas. I want
Yeah, there you
I want a
go.
Lamborghini. But anyways, people are always listening. So I get a potential friend in social media. This potential person should be your friend. I'm like, who is this person? And so then then you look at them and you kind of look at who their friends are. Nope, that didn't help me. And then you look at like pictures. And so I did this 2-level deep before I decided to, that I just remove it from my page. And I saw a picture of this person with somebody. I'm like, and it was this person, number 3's spouse.
Number 3.
And on it was a picture, and it is Hep.
Are you pronouncing
Hep.
that correctly?
His is not Hef, it's Hep. He had Brian Orey, and those who don't know Brian Orey, he had Brian Orey hair back in the day. I just happened to look deep enough to realize who it was. I'm not going to friend his wife. That's weird. But I saw a picture of Hep, black and white picture of Hep, long hair, and rocking it out. So I just, so he clearly number 3. If anybody was at the tailgate, we had that whole parking lot snafu, which we'll never have again. But not only did he bring all his gear, like he had this trolley that he brought all his gear and he set it all up, and he's just amazing. He's almost normally always the first caller. He comes forward, and he's of everybody. Everybody's had bad days or angry days. Hep has never had a bad day in his life, as far as I can tell. He is just a true superstar. So that he is definitely on the top.
Okay, I love that. It should absolutely. I couldn't agree more, and I love that you revealed that level of detail. I don't know if a lot of people know that. They're going to see it. Obviously, it's a new part of the show in terms of the video we play before we go to the phone lines. But Hep and Mrs. Hep, they brought the full gear, and it was awesome, and made it an unbelievable experience. When Hep first brought it up, I wasn't sure, like, was he just going to bring a guitar, plug nothing in, and just sort of play it? And we're sort of huddled around. We hear, like, I had no idea what level he was going to talk about, and work with the DJ to get all his gear equipment. I mean, super cool. So, okay, that's half of your Mount Rushmore. Let's go
Number
to
2.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of people that won't make it. Sometimes they're busy. They don't always get on.
All right.
And I'll just throw an honorable mention as we're happy to do, like Johnny Boy, right? Johnny Boy. He's got his own thing with that other guy who I'll talk about maybe later.
Okay.
So
That's
it's
wide.
Yeah. So there's an honorable mention, right? He may not make 4, but if I had 10 spots,
He's
then,
memorable.
right,
Yeah, I like
memorable.
that. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He's memorable. So this is getting tough. So it's already getting tough. But I would say this person has probably consistently, we have a lot of people that contribute to the show.
No doubt.
Both like what Jared B does and, all these other things. But this person, contributes. He's half a world away, if you will. He has financially contributed probably more than anybody else. He doesn't call in, but he's always in the chat, and he's always, incredible. And so it's got to go back to number 1.
Number 1.
Austrian Jets fan. He's got to be on the Mount Rushmore. He's supported the show significantly, helping keep the boat afloat.
Yeah, and I mean, Austria could confirm this in the comments section, but I'm pretty sure that Austria, when he first arrived on the scene, he was not called number 1 Austria Jet fan. He just had some other name. And then I saw the flag as his avatar, and then we did this whole thing where we found out it was Austria, and people always called Australia. And I said, there's a number 1 Austrian Jet fan. And then I think I saw him change his name, and I'm like, boom, look at him just embracing this and look at it. So there is no doubt. I know you said some ifs, ands, or buts. He is clearly the number 1 financial supporter of anyone. And that's awesome because, my beautiful fiance takes care of the kids so I can do these shows, off air. And without her, I can't do these things. And so all the financial stuff you guys contribute with super chats and memberships and everything allows that sacrifice to be worth it because she's not working she's like, doing it with the children. So like the only way to support the family is these ventures that I do. So that just that means the world. So yeah, massive shout out to our number one Austrian Jet fan. And you have one spot on the left on the list, correct?
Yeah, just one spot left. There's a lot of people. Again, I'll give another. Some people bring some unique things to the show.
Okay.
So like for example, Neil, he's not going to be the last spot, but he does bring some uniqueness with his takes and things of that nature.
Sure.
Wow, this is really it's hard to put my finger on this last one. It's difficult, but I will go with number one is
Number 1.
Indy Jets.
Indy Jets. Wow. Okay. That just sort of caught me off guard. I like Indy. He is what a unique Uncle Indy getting number one on your
well,
Mount
it's not
Rushmore.
number one. It's a and there's 1,000 people, right? You have Mother Effin' Chew is always on,
awesome.
always in the comments, always
Great
the first
financial contributor.
And so there's only 4 slots. So it's hard, but then I could just think of more and more, people out there, but so, and even Havmo, who's got a great sense of humor.
I love Havmo.
Yeah. So and I'm not, and I like, we met some of these people. I call him Ant-Man. That he got.
Ant Jets 82. Yep.
Right. And there's a lot of phenomenal people.
Philly Noodles.
Philly Noodles. Thank you. Yeah. So, but the bottom
Chad,
boards,
give a shout out to Shad, who flew in from California, baby.
And obviously Chef Kevin Gilbert, he was right there with Indy. It was an Indian leg wrestling match, which, by the way, if you don't know what an Indian leg wrestling match is, you should Google that, and then you should go try it because it is amusing. And then send us a video. But,
what's that, Indian or Indian? Like I'm not sure.
As if like you lived in a teepee.
I see.
I believe that's what
okay. Oh, not that Indian.
I was going to say.
Yeah, that was probably for the best to avoid that.
You almost brought me there.
I appreciate you punting on that opportunity. Some people go for it on fourth down. Some people punt. Some people do both.
And again, Mac for life, DNY for life. There's,
Devin,
the list goes on and on. So, I had to take 4. They had 4 slots, but there's a long list. Now the bottom 4 is much easier.
Are you really doing this?
I will. I'll tell you what. If you want me to, I will. Otherwise, I will not.
All right, that sounds like entertaining content to me. So why not? All right, here we go. Not on my bingo card, and again, helps me to continue to delay the news I was going to talk about like 20 minutes ago. So that's great. Let's go.
Number 4.
Yeah, these aren't in any order, and this is not personal in most cases.
Okay, it seems about as personal as it can get. You're my bottom 4. This isn't even a real thing. A backwards Mount Rushmore of people that are on the bottom 4. I mean, this feels about as personal as it gets. But okay,
and maybe I won't even get to 4. It's really just a couple. I'll just go with a couple. Okay. And when to make this criteria, you have to, in some cases, bring a negative impact to the show.
Apparently, I would assume.
You have a negative impact to the show. So Bobby Midnight is number 1.
Oof. I'm sure he's going to really love that. So shout out to Bobby. Bobby,
yeah. So
is that for him going after your wife?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's for him.
That did not get factored.
Yeah. No, that did not get. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll drive to Vermont, take care of that problem in about half.
Okay.
Anyway,
right. So Bobby making it
number 3.
Okay. This person, and I have not seen him in the chat in a while. Yeah, it's got to be without a doubt. It's BMAC.
Which one? C-Mac, D-Mac, this B-Mac, that B-Mac.
Yeah, the ones that are pretending to be him, and I'm not sure. Like, you can pretend to be a lot of people in the world. You can do impersonations of like the president. Sure. You can make fun of people, like impersonations, like Frank Caliendo. Is that what his name is?
Yeah, Frank Caliendo. That is.
Yeah, he's got some amazing. John Gruden. Yeah, he's got some really good.
I saw him.
But why want to pretend to be BMAC? Right. I'm talking about the true one.
Okay. Okay, there you go. All right. Next up, we're halfway through already, and he said you
Yeah.
weren't even sure if you were going to get multiple.
I
names,
think I'm
but-
going to stop there. I think I'm going to stop there. I don't want to cause any
Number
more.
2.
I mean, you're already halfway there. Isn't there
Right, those
something about
those two have zero impact.
that?
Right.
Zero. Well, I
And
thought
I
you said they
I
were
mean-
negative impact.
Yeah, I mean they have zero impact because nobody cares.
Wow.
Right. If I mention these other names, there may be some passion around them. So I'm looking. I'm like I'm pretending I have a leg cramp, and
I don't know. You've already gone this far. This is for people that have not gotten a chance to meet my father yet. That happened at the tailgate, and I assume he'll be back at the next one. And he does this thing where I set him up for something, and he's like, "Ooh, I've got a great joke about that." And they were like, he's like, "I shouldn't say it though." All right, I'll say it. And just enough like little boop, 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 boop. And he's like, all right, fuck it, I'll say it. Who gives a shit? So, Pop, you might. We're already here.
All right, we'll go.
Seats. All right, I am fearful of where this is going to go, but God bless them.
We'll go
Number
very
2.
closely. These last two can make themselves on or off the list.
So there's a chance for change.
There's a chance for they could be reborn.
Redemption. Oh,
Yeah,
phenomenal.
reborn. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's got to be easy.
Easy. Oh, Edwards if poor easy. Tough.
The whole tailgate fiasco, it's just and he can redeem himself. But
Okay. That's see, there you go. That's can Bobby or BMAC redeem themselves?
no, that's what I said. The first two are unredeemable.
Oh boy. Okay.
These next two are redeemable.
Okay,
So-
and the last
Number
one
1.
of the bottom four Mount Rushmore is.
I think most people would agree with this, and I think
I don't know
maybe
who
they
this
wouldn't.
name is.
And I would say, he hovers around like he's on the fringe of the bottom four.
On the
Sometimes he comes on and he just stirs up a bunch of hate and malcontent.
wow.
And
I think I know now. Oh,
and
boy.
but he does also bring a lot of other things to the table. He brings he breaks down some stuff, but then he's the yin to your yang. You are the most positive person in the world. He's the most negative person in the world.
There's no question who this is now.
Yeah. Well, now you know. Now I don't even have to say it.
Well,
So there
you
you
do. I mean, for everyone else in the universe.
go. It's Alon. So there you go.
Alon gets the old bottom four. Brutal. Alon, by the way, is saying, what was your top four again? Do you remember your top four?
What is going on with these names, by the way?
I don't know. YouTube has been having an issue where they're flipping your YouTube handle versus what your actual display name is. Those are different things. So that is a YouTube thing, not beyond my control. So sorry, Alon, or anybody else, by the way, out there in the universe. That is beyond my control. I'm not sure what's happening there. So apologies for that, folks. I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully YouTube will fix it on their own. A couple of things here real quick. I need to do some housekeeping. So we have some super chats, and I'm going to get to those, I promise. And that's actually where I'm about to go. I do everything in my power, folks, to try not to miss any of your super chats. There's a pit in my stomach when I miss your guys' super chats. So if I ever do, please let me know. I don't do it on purpose. StreamYard is supposed to flag every super chat response and put it in a separate category, so it should be harder for me to miss, but they don't always flag them, and some stuff slips through the cracks. So I want to do some housekeeping. There was a super chat yesterday. Our boy Frank, hey, baby.
Wow.
Frank, I saw this come through, but with the show yesterday, it slipped through the cracks, so I want to make up for it right now. Frank sent this $5 super chat yesterday. He said he received the signed book. Bob, thank you so much. And yes, Bob only has a select few of those left, so that was very nice. And Frank won our contest where Bob offered that in the book. So shout out to Frank, and thank you for sending that in. And my apologies for missing that yesterday, pal. Appreciate that. So shout out to Frank, and I've added that, by the way, to your super chat total. So that was a fun trip. Pop, let's get some super chats in here. Our guy Truman Dumel with some Notre Dame love, the old Fighting Irish.
Wow.
First off, maybe it's a stomach virus. Thank you, Truman Dumet, for the $10 super chat. I see you have several other super chats. We'll get to those in a minute. Maybe it's a stomach virus, but my gut says we win Sunday. So does mine, Truman, baby. Everything's lining up. Although there's some things that are not lining up, which is the news I've been delaying for 30 minutes or so. So we'll get to that, I promise. I hope we draft. And do you see this guy, Dad? His name pronunciation, I have it here in front of me. It is Charles Jogusaw. He is a Notre Dame offensive lineman, a big boy, and he says, I hope we draft Charles Jogusaw, is how you pronounce it according to Charles. He gave that before his first start of his Notre Dame career, gave the proper name pronunciation for that. So is there anything, Irish are famous for a lot of things. They might have a pretty prominent place if he dove into the college football ranks for a Mount Rushmore, but they're pretty well known for tight ends, certainly, and offensive lineman would be another one that Notre Dame cranks out like an NFL factory. Anything you could tell us about Charles Jogusaw?
No, he's a phenomenal talent. And beyond that, I don't have any detailed history of him. I will tell you that a fun fact about Notre Dame. Yeah. I think every starting tight end has been drafted and played in the NFL for the past 15 plus years. I'd have to look up that stat, but I believe that is true. The tight end, if you will. But I'd like to just briefly. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Real quick, I'll just give the details for people who don't know about Charles Jogusaw. He's 6'7", 333 pounds. He's currently a sophomore. His hometown is Rock Island, Illinois, and an absolute tank. So yes, I'll just tell you, Truman, 1,000%. I'm all for drafting offensive linemen, and quite frankly, the Jets may have to figure something out this offseason, right? John Simpson's a free agent. ABT's a free agent. Josh Myers is a free agent. And Tippmann's in the last year of his deal. So what do you do with him? Does he stay at guard? Do you kick him back to center? Which of the guards do you sign? Do you bring either of them back? Do you draft a guy? Do you do some multiple combinations of the things I said? So there's some offensive lineman conversations for the Jets to have. Is your comment that you wanted to detour off anything to do with this Truman super chat, Pop?
No.
Okay. Great. I don't want you to lose your place here, so we'll get back to two of his other super chats in a moment. Go ahead.
Yep. No, I just wanted to clarify when we got to the bottom bottom Mount Rushmore.
Sure.
I have no personal grievance with any of the people except two of them I do. The last two I have no personal grievance with them.
I see.
And I would just like to say that I do appreciate Alon's takes. He did make a pious man swear and have one of the greatest rants ever on the YouTube, which is what actually put him in the Rushmore, that he was able to do that. So,
well, I will avoid talking about that because unfortunately one of our Boy Green Coffee Club members has not called in since, and I really hope he does return in the future. If you're out there, you know who I'm talking about. And again, we try to keep, as long as it's obviously above board here and it doesn't cross a certain line that's unspeakable. I love everyone being able to share their opinions and takes and taking shots at everybody and things of that nature. So I hope we can all have some good fun on that moving forward. So Truman, thank you for that. And yes, Charles Jogusaw would be a wonderful player to put in there. Another one from Truman Dumel. Oh boy.
Wow.
Draft Archie Manning, Moogie. So I don't know if Arch is even coming out, unless you're talking about his old man dad. Archie may be available at 84 or whatever the hell he is, but Arch the son, he has had a really down year, Pop. And to be honest, I've got another one of these books behind me over my left shoulder talking about Peyton Manning, another one of those Mannings, having the chance to join the Jets and said, nah, I'm good, after all that hoopla with Bill Parcells and everything. So that never happened. We went in a completely different direction. So Arch Manning, any interest in the Jets diving into the Manning family tree?
Peyton Manning. Anyway, sorry, inside joke. Yeah, so I thought it was odd. We get ahead of ourselves all the time. And I don't even think he started a game before people saying he should be the
100%.
He should be the number one draft pick. That's just ludicrous. He has not shown anything. Take his last name away, right? You look at Peyton, you look at even Eli's career, and I'm not a big Eli fan.
I've heard
he's nowhere near the talent of his father or brother. But It was evident what you had on the table. It is not evident with Arch, and I definitely would not. I wouldn't say I wouldn't consider drafting him. There's got to be something, in the bloodline, like their brother was like, they're super talented. But yeah, no, I would not. Definitely not with a number one pick. That's a negative Ghost Rider.
But I do agree to your overall point. I mean, obviously something's in the freaking water over there. I mean, good Lord. Cooper, all of them have just been spectacular. So it's hard for me to deny that reality with what they've been able to crank out. I mean, obviously it's been pretty special, pretty spectacular. So not this year. And to be honest, I wonder if they would even let him. Let's say he was this number one overall pick guy. Would they have convinced him to go back? Would they convince him to do some crazy stuff of trying to pull an Eli or something? I don't know. But Truman, I'm not sure that one is going to come together. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's one of the unintended consequences of this NIL money, right? I mean, you're already making, in some cases, you're making more than you're going to make at your door. You're making more than you're going to make, right, in the league now. It's not like before where, you go from rags to riches unless and risking injury.
Mm-hmm.
But now with this NIL money, you really don't have to rush.
That's a good point. Another super chat for Truman Dumel, baby.
Wow.
By the way, thank you so much for all these super chats. Got to help keeps the lights on. You're now in third place in our raffle contest this month, Truman. So keep it going. If Arch stays in the draft, Bama's Ty Simpson. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about this Ty Simpson kid, Pop. And there's a lot of names. We talked about this with Mike Greenberg, who hosts the NFL draft for ESPN for the first 2 days. He talked about all these different guys that are in the mix. And Ty Simpson is one of them that's creating buzz. He wasn't one of those guys before the year a lot of people were talking about, but I mean, th'ey're certainly talking about him now. 6'2", 208 pounds. He's a junior. He was born in Tennessee. 1,900 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, just one pick. I mean, Dan Orlovsky believes he should be the number one overall pick. So he's a guy creating some palpable buzz. So Ty Simpson appears to be in that Jets quarterback conversation too.
Yeah, I have not. I don't typically watch Alabama games.
Fair enough.
Although if they think they're going to get the shit kicked out of them, I do tune in because I enjoyed that. But
so hey, the Alabama thing worked out for us in the past, right, Joe Namath? So hey, I'm sure we wouldn't make any of those comparisons if the Jets dip their toes in those waters. But Truman, I like the cut of your jib, pal. Ty Simpson's looking awesome. So I've seen a bunch of games of the top quarterbacks. I've seen probably at least one game on all the top quarterbacks that are being considered so far, but not nearly enough to do deep dives and breakdowns. But I will tell you, during the bye week, you guys voted for it. So we will have our guy Drew Beatty making his return to give us sort of a surface level quarterback draft pulse thing where we're at during the bye week with no game to prepare for. So that will be coming up on a live Boy Green Daily during the bye week. So you guys feel free to load up all your questions, be ready for that. And he watches the tape. So that's going to be fascinating to hear from somebody that studies all that to go through that process. Another super chat coming in here, Pop, from MFC.
Wow.
Your YouTube point at mother_effing_chew with the new handle business. Some posts don't show up when the handles change. So that's another problem for me for seeing some of the stuff too when they're having these glitches. But so salute to MFC. He is a massive representative. Although Pop, maybe it's just my dialect, but I don't always pronounce it correctly. How do you properly say this?
It's motherfucking chew, baby.
It. I just can't quite get that A. I just got to keep working on it. But speaking of working on it, MFC 12 raffle tickets so far for our contest. Appreciate you, pal, and thank you guys for sending in all those super chats through Pop. Wow. Well, you have helped me delay that news, Pop, as long as humanly possible. But let's get to it. First off, 330 people in the room. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, or as my pop likes to say, taking a certain like button to Pound Town. So 100 plus people are watching on YouTube. So make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. There's a free way to contribute. Pop, we can't delay it anymore. Let's talk about the injury report. And that is lengthy. Good Lord. The Jets are going to be missing 6 players against the Cincinnati Bengals, 2 of which are starters. You may have heard of them. Sauce Gardner, out, concussion. He's in the NFL's concussion protocol. It seemed that as soon as they said he's in the concussion protocol, it never looked good. That's terrible news. He was spectacular the last 2 weeks. He was targeted once in the Panthers game. That was a bad pass. And against the Broncos, 86% of Cortland Sutton's routes were against Sauce, and he allowed 1 catch for 17 yards. So Sauce has turned it back on. He's been an elite corner, and now they're going to have to try to combat the top wide receiver tandem in the National Football League without Sauce. That'll be difficult. And to add insult to injury, Garrett Wilson on the other side, out of commission, will not be contributing on offense. That's his second straight missed game, and only the second missed game of his career. Prior to these 2 games, he had appeared in 57 straight games. So the Jets did not get it done with Garrett Wilson missing last week, Pop. And they're going to have to try to get it done on offense. They haven't scored a touchdown 2 weeks. The last time they scored a touchdown, me and you were in the stadium. I was back at the beginning of the month against your Dallas Cowboys. So big injuries, and the rest are either special teamers or key, like Kane Nguanu. He can't stay healthy. He was wonderful for our return game, but he's out with a concussion. Cam Jones, Stone Smart, J. Tufele, the others, all the players are designated as questionable. Aaron Glenn says they have a really good chance of playing. That's Breece Hall, Josh Reynolds, Mason Taylor, Tyrod Taylor, Quincy Williams, among that group. Michael Carter II, Jermaine Johnson, Quantez Stiggers are full clear to go. They have no injury designation. We'll see what they end up doing. Michael Carter II, considering how well Jarvis Brownlee Jr. has played. Pop, no Sauce, no Garrett, and they're trying to seek their first win of the season without their brightest stars. Difficult challenge.
Yep. Well, we should just roll right into it, right?
Sure.
Yeah. This game is going to be difficult. The hope is that once is a happenstance, 2 is maybe, and then 3 is it's a trend. And so that's the defense showing up. So this is Cincinnati, they can throw that ball around the yard. They have 2 of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. The Jets are without their best cornerback. It's got to really come down to 2 things. The Jets need to get after Flacco's ass. Right where he's going to be. It's not like you have to Google, hey, where's Waldo? Where's Flacco at? He's right where he snapped the ball from, right? He's like the Statue of frickin' Liberty, right? He's not going anywhere, so you got to get to him. Now, the Jets, even though they have played better on defense, even though they have only allowed 13 points per game for 2 games in a row, they still are not getting the quarterback. They're not getting after the quarterback. They've gotten 3 sacks of the past 2 games, which is pedestrian numbers in the NFL, if you would.
Yep.
And so there he is. Go find him. And Pittsburgh, who has a pretty good defensive line, they were unable to get to him, right? He stayed clean, threw for 320, 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. They better bring their lunch pails, because to me, there's opportunities, as the Bengals have the second worst defense in the NFL. But it's really going to be on the defense. The defense are the ones that the game is going to hinge on, because if it's a shootout, the Jets are not going to keep up. They can't keep up. And hopefully not.
Yeah, I think there's a compelling case to what you said, that, the defense being the key. I still think that the offense is the key. They haven't scored a touchdown in 2 weeks. So even if the defense has a lights out performance, like the Jets, if the Jets offense can't get it done against this Bengals defense, when are they going to be able to get it done? And again, I get it. No, Garrett Wilson stinks. He had 40% of the team's target share for the season, but you just got to find a way. Teams lose their star receivers and around the league, and they find the Bucs are a great example. They've lost multiple of their star pass catchers. Like 4 of their top 5 pass catchers have been out, and they've found ways to win games. Now I get it. The rest of the team's pretty talented, and they got Baker Mayfield. That helps. But, you have this adversity. You have to overcome it. No touchdowns in 2 weeks. Man, if the Jets defense plays lights out again and the Jets offense is unable to go, that's where all kinds of finger blaming and things that can happen. Because Jermaine went on social media after the Panthers loss, said, man, we keep giving it all we have and nothing's coming up. Like something's got to change, basically. And I think he's right.
Yeah. And frankly, to me, it doesn't really matter which quarterback starts. It's pretty much probably the way the Bengals feel too. It doesn't really matter which quarterback starts, but it does matter the play calls, right? When you have a play call, right? It's not like you're out in the backyard, you throw it to Johnny, whoever's free.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of like, here is on this route, your number one guy is this, your number two guy is this. If you watch the Cowboys thing, you saw that Michael Irvin subbed out. He thought he was he forced himself into a different role. And then Alvin Harper ended up with like the 80-yard touchdown, and Michael, that's my touchdown. But he
so
put himself in a different position.
Yes, that was in the 1992 NFC Championship game. Troy Aikman explained it that Harper was running the curl and Michael Irvin had been running the post, but like it kept going to Harper. So Michael before the play is like, fucking get over there. But he's like, what are you talking about? That's not the play. He's like, get over there. And Jimmy's point of view is like, Michael messed up the play. What's he doing? He doesn't know what's going on. And then Troy throws it the other way to Harper, and Irvin with his hands up going, that's my touchdown. Great. Yeah. Again, America's team. That's a fun. I get it. It's Cowboys, but that's a really interesting documentary with so many. Yeah. Oh my God. A lot of really good. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Anyways, so this is what the Jets need to do, right?
Okay.
They need to run, and then they need to do something that is beyond a mystery to me, right? So I believe Breece Hall will be traded before the trade deadline. I 100% believe
Alon's very excited about that.
And I believe that's 100% the right thing to do for the Jets moving forward. And I would ride it to the last stop, right? Why wouldn't you? Milk the cow until it's over, then trade him right before the deadline. But we didn't throw him the ball last week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. What are we doing? Right. And I'll tell you the other one that's stark contrast is we've thrown Arian Smith the ball like once a game. Like, what are we doing?
Especially no Garrett Wilson. That just doesn't seem to, who else are you throwing it to? I did.
Well, so, and I mean, that's like Fields. Maybe it's a Fields thing, right? In the Cowboys game, he threw it to before the game was over, which was about halfway through the third quarter at halftime. He only threw it to Garrett Wilson once. Like, what? So whose blame is that? I think it's your buddies, the Jolly Green Giants blame. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You argue the two best offensive weapons on the team should be the focus, should be your game plan. Garrett Wilson, one pass against the Dallas Cowboys in the first half, through the first three quarters. Breece Hall, what do we got? Hackett on the offensive coordinator again? That Breece Hall guy can really, he's pretty good out of the backfield catching a pass. So I don't know. I think that the defense is going to struggle without Sauce. They need to get after Flacco. If they get after Flacco, there's an opportunity. If we have some kind of an offense, I would say the first 6 games of the season, I probably picked the Jets to win half the time until they show something different. I can't pick them, and it's not because I don't want to pick them. No. Right? There's no evidence. Right?
Jake Asman said the same thing. We interview him once a week, and that same thing. I don't normally anymore. I used to do it earlier in my career when I'd have insiders on from the other team, or even insiders from our own team, and just analysts or anything. I'd be like, "Hey, what's your prediction for the game? What do you think's going to happen?" Like literal score, like sort of the theme. And with Jake, we've just sort of asked it in a thematic way, and I just say like, "A prediction, like how do you think it's sort of going to go?" And he's like, "He said exactly what you said. There's no way I can pick them until they prove it. They're freaking 0 and this, 0 and this, 0 and this, and the O has stayed the same, but the loss thing has continued to climb. So it's a fair take to have."
Yeah, so. and unless something changes, they could break history, and unless something breaks on through to the other side. And I'm not being funny. I'm not being trying to get anybody riled up. I mean, you look at the calendar and you're like, "What? No. What? No." Right?
Okay. Here's I have this jersey. I was going to say proudly in my closet. I don't know if it's proud, but I still wear it. Vernon Gulston, 56. Okay, and then he switched at one point to 50. he never had a sack in his career. And a lot of us go, how could you not have a sack? Like, inevitably, don't you have to sort of stumble into one, like by accident? Like the offensive lineman doesn't get off the snap and he just doesn't block you. And you just, like, how does that not happen? So that's crazy. But we bring it to this. It's an oblong-shaped football. How do the Jets, like, one team just has a terrible day and the Jets have a mediocre day? Like, how could it not possibly happen where the Jets find a way to win a game? Like, it's so unbelievable. But 2 winless seasons have happened in NFL history. Again, 2008, I know for sure was the Lions. And then Cleveland, I believe it was 2016. And so there's just no way. There's no way.
Yeah, and I don't want it. But I'm looking at the schedule. I only see one game that I feel reasonably confident. Only one.
What's that? I have 2 off the top of my head.
It's only one. And I mean, there's a couple that the NFL is bipolar for the most part, right?
Okay.
There are teams that show up and are pretty much always good. And there's, some that show up and
so who's the one?
Bad. It's Miami.
What about New Orleans?
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. Well, again, every week, right? We write off a team, and then like the Packers lost to the Browns. Cleveland, like that one too. We didn't even mention Cleveland. Cleveland's coming up, man. That's another.
The Cleveland's defense,
they're
right?
really good.
There's the problem.
We can win that one 5-3.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I would like to think, maybe they win 2 games. I don't know, but there's no game you can go.
Maybe they win 10.
Yeah, there's no game that you can honestly say they're definitely going to win that game.
Well, no, I can't say that anymore. They're freaking 0-7. Of course not. I can't confidently say, oh, boy, thank God we have the Saints coming up on the schedule. I can't say that at all, obviously. The Jets have to show up. So Aaron Glenn talked about that at his press conference. He's like, we're working on 3 keys. 3 keys as we're heading into this game. Have a plan. Execute the plan. And then something else about marinating on the plan. The fact of the matter is that you need all sides of the Jets to play well. It hasn't happened this season. Week 1, ooh, offense. Defense stunk. Oh, defense. Last 2 weeks. This stunk. Oh, special teams. This stunk. So, like, they just need to fire on all cylinders all at the same time. And again, with it being all over the place, eventually all the stars have to somehow align. Like that has to happen even by accident.
And I hope they do. I'll tell you what, and I hope they do. And because I am on your train with we got to have faith in Aaron Glenn. And I have said that the whole time since he's been the coach, when people have brought up this or the other. I will tell you that my Aaron Glenn train is it's like that. Now it's a little train that maybe it's going to make it up the hill. The time management. So everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but you don't get to make the same mistake. And if you do make the same mistake, maybe it's a few years in between. It's not exactly one game in between in the exact same freaking situation. That doesn't happen for a coach.
Yes.
And so I'm losing a smidge of faith in Aaron Glenn. And I just wish he'd go to the press conference and I don't know how to say this. Shut the fuck up. Right? His little cuteness with the press, it's thin. It was cute at first. The guy's bringing in some chutzpah to the team. He's bringing in the Major League Yabos. Now it's not cute anymore. It's not cute. It's sad. So just shut up. Answer the questions and stop being a jackass. Again, I still believe that Aaron Glenn can turn this around. I don't, and actually I've been, a lot of the things I've been meaning to talk to you about this, so, but it's just you and I here, so we can talk about it.
Sure, right, yeah.
But you keep saying, well, it's his first year, so he's got to, I will tell you that in the real world,
okay,
right, when people hire people, they don't expect you to be shitty at your job for the first year or so. $1 billion organization typically hires people to run them that they think are going to come in and be successful. My career that I've had both in and out of the Navy, post-Navy, right? They expect when we hire somebody, you know what they said? In nuclear power, like you get to be new for about 2 weeks. After that, you should never say that shit again because that's you. You are that job, whatever it is. So Aaron Glenn, it's over. He's not a new head coach anymore. They hired him to run a multi-billion-dollar organization. He gets 0 passes, 0, as everyone loves, 0.0 passes anymore. He's not a new guy. He's a head coach of $1 billion professional sports, and he gets this is his first year, so we kind of expect him to suck. Well, he's hitting all the marks on that. So you've been saying that over and over again. That's unacceptable. You get hired in the job, you got to be able to do the job, and you've been giving him a free pass. I just had to say that.
I appreciate that. I will say this for AG, and again, Greeny talked about some of the same themes you're talking about. That his belief, as he described it, is wavering now. Because I gave this whole setup like, oh man, I still believe in him. Like first year and all this. I'm like, Greeny, do you believe in him? And he said it's wavering, and he explained all the reasons why it's wavering, and there were legitimate reasons. Again, to a lot of the stuff you pointed out as well. Let me get this other super chat coming in from Truman Dumel here.
Wow.
He's been absolutely killing it today, so I appreciate you, Truman. Hey, play GM. Who are you drafting with the first 3 picks and why? And hopefully they get some Notre Dame guys joining Jordan Clark. Yes, son of Ryan Clark on our practice squad as well. I would say this. It's too early to give you first 3 picks and saying, I want this Syracuse guy, this Notre Dame guy, this. But what I will do for you, Truman, is give you positions. First round, it's going to be a quarterback. I mean, how can it not be a quarterback? I know Easy has played devil's advocate and talked about, trading the pick for a bounty. Again, where the Jets are, they need hope. And there's going to be I would be surprised if the Jets have the first overall pick. I wouldn't be surprised if they do have the first overall pick. Let me back that up. I'd be surprised if they land the first overall pick, they don't find a single quarterback that's at all worthy. They're like, nah, there's nobody here. That would surprise me, despite the fact there's a lot of different names floating around. They're going to fall in love with someone. And when they do, with where the Jets are at, they need that hope. The coaching staff needs that hope to keep telling everybody, hey, don't worry. We got this thing working behind the scenes and all this kind of thing. So I think the first round is 100% going to be a quarterback. We can debate who that quarterback is. When we go second and third round, I think one of those picks has to be a wide receiver opposite of Garrett Wilson. So we could talk about that in the second or third round, respectively. And then the other one, we could debate between offensive linemen, potentially depending on how the thing shuffles the board, and then defense, where the Jets are going to need some help specifically on that defensive line. So I see trench warfare, pass catcher, quarterback. That's where I sit, Pop.
I definitely don't want the Jets to go offensive line. Their top 3. They need to. They've been doing well. Sure. I do believe the Jets need to do something different, and I'll explain what I'm talking about. Okay. Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold. His name escapes me. It's going to come to me. Geno Smith. Okay. Right there, with the exception of Zach Wilson, who is not good.
He just got benched to QB3. He got benched from the bench. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, what they need to do differently. So obviously it wasn't a talent evaluation problem with Geno or with Sam Darnold. There wasn't a talent evaluation problem. Mm-hmm. They need to do what I've been advocating for a while. Okay. Right. There is, what the salary cap is for coaching staff?
There isn't one.
There isn't one. Right. There isn't one. You know what there isn't? There isn't one. Right. So you draft a quarterback. You need to figure it out. You need to go to that kid's college and go to his quarterback coach, who obviously developed enough that brought you interest. And you need to bring that guy in, or you need to bring in another expert, a quarterback whisperer. Sure. You need to bring them in, and you need to pay them, and you need to nurture that quarterback. I do agree with Greeny on this. You let him sit for a full year.
Yeah.
You run back tight. Recognize this, right? Next year, the Jets are not winning the Super Bowl. So you bring back a Tyrod Taylor. You bring back somebody else to be the backup. But you bring in someone specifically designed to help that quarterback. And it doesn't even have to be that. And I really like this kid for some reason. I can't remember his name. He was like the Jets. He was a high school football coach, and they brought him in to back up Zach Wilson. I can't remember his name. He was a Jets quarterback before.
And he said, who did he back up? What was the quarterback?
I thought it was. I can't remember who it was. It was not that long ago, though.
No, I was saying who was the quarterback that he backed up?
I thought it was Zach Wilson for a period of time.
Zach Wilson. Oh, because I was going to go Mark Brunell. I thought that's
no, that's not it. No, it's not Mark Brunell. Is it? He was a high school football coach. Again, it's in the past 5 years or so. But anyways, bring somebody in that can teach him. Bring somebody in that will mentor him, because essentially you're going to have a defensive minded head coach.
Oh, this wasn't with Zach Wilson. You're talking about Josh McCown?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, that's Sam Darnold.
Okay, Josh McCown. So I'm not, and he's well thought of as a head coaching candidate, I believe. Sure. But anyways, you bring in someone like him that understands the nuances of the game, and you nurture that quarterback. But to this super chat, I think the Jets should draft.
Oh, that would be if you think that the Breece Hall stuff is crazy. And by the way, I love this guy, and Truman loves those players from that particular school. I mean, this guy's a beast. He's awesome. But that would feel very Giants-y Saquon Barkley, with quarterbacks on the board. Because isn't he going to be a clear top?
No. Pick? To be, and I think it's up for debate, which is ridiculous. And so I'm not saying you draft Jordan Love ahead of a quarterback. That's not what I'm saying. Jeremiah Love. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you do something. You make some moves. You get the quarterback, and then how do I get him up
what
there?
The Giants did,
That's
Abdul Carter, third overall, get fancy and jump back into the first round and secure. Oh, that'd be interesting.
You look back to a few years ago in the playoffs, right? Yeah. Where Jeremiah, no, it is Jordan Love, isn't it?
No, it's not. Jordan Love is a Packers quarterback.
I'm sorry, Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love, where he dragged 3 people, and I think it was, I can't remember what playoff game it was, but he was stopped at the 3-yard line. And he's like, "Buckle up, boys. We're going for a ride." He dragged 3 players into the end.
He's awesome.
That guy is amazing. So, anyways, that's who I'd like to answer the super chat. I'd love to see on the Jets.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that would be
Jeremiah Love. Sorry,
yeah, that would be an absolute eyebrow raiser if that was to happen. Again, I love the player, but boy, again, if we get in crazy, Mel Kiper can't take a running back in the first round. If that's true and he's slipping, the Jets currently would have the 33rd overall pick.
There you go.
If he's at all in that conversation, some of the mocks I've seen, he's going top 5. So I don't know, but running backs slip all the time. So I'm not sure. We haven't seen that very often. Here's one of your guys who's just left off the Mount Rushmore, Chef Kevin Gilbert.
Wow.
Good morning, Boy Green and Pops. Last night, the Knicks played a great game. Thank you for randomly bringing that up for absolutely no reason. Appreciate that. Love the Greeny interview. Amazing conversation about our Jets. Let's get a win. Go Jets. So, yes, Knicks beat the Celtics last night. Thanks for bringing it up. Blah, blah, blah. I can't talk about it, although Scotty is MIA, so I don't know if that, sort of alleviates the deal. He's not around anymore, so I'm not sure if, that deal gets grandfathered in for whatever bets I may have made last calendar year. But that's neither here nor there. I appreciate you loving the Greeny interview. Again, I love doing those interviews when I have those opportunities. So shout out to Greeny, and thank you guys for enjoying it. Again, that is open to the public now, so you guys can check that out. It's not just a Boy Green Coffee Club member thing. And let's get a win on Sunday. I'd love it, Chef, and I'm going to be rooting for it like nobody's business. We'll once again be doing the watch party. I'll set up all those links today for tomorrow's watch party and full game day coverage coming tomorrow morning. So
yeah, I'm really hoping I can watch the game. I'll be flying at that time again, but it's weird. The Delta uses the local stations from New York, when it broadcasts, because they have live television. Mm-hmm. And so when they do that, that means I was able to watch the entirety of the Jets game last week. So hopefully so. By the way, is it weird that the Knicks are the only team that I can think of in professional sports that you don't say their real name when you bring them up? Is that weird? Nobody takes the Pacers and calls them the Pa. Nobody takes, the Oilers, call them the Oil. No one talks the Red Sox, call them the R, right? But we call them the Knicks. Why don't we say their whole name? We don't like it. We should change it. Think of another sports team when people don't use their full name. I can't. The Fours, the 49ers, no, the Fours.
Yeah,
it's just odd.
I just think it's probably for the best that people, I know in Yes Man, right? Jim Carrey's character is named Carl, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, Ka?" And he's like, "Oh, Carl's not short enough."
Thank you for correcting me. The Mets are another one. Yeah, I guess it's a New
Metropolitan
York
thing. I don't know. Yeah,
a little Sex in the City. Give me a Metropolitan.
I don't quite get that.
Give me
I've
a
never seen the show.
Metropolitan then we'll go around back. I'll give you the Knickerbocker.
That sounds about appropriate. Cut that off right there. I
right.
can hear the constant tapping of the spoon in the background. There's a lot of cooking going on over there, which I can only respect. We have 400 people in the room. Guys, like the video, hit subscribe. But the 400 people that are watching, 100 of you guys are on YouTube. Please hit that like button there on your screen. It's a free way to contribute. Do you have any time for phone calls, Pop, or are you dipping?
Yeah, no, I got some time for phone calls. Hey now.
All right.
Take that like button to Pound Town, and we're still waiting for someone to step up for their day-to-day Boy Green Coffee Club, for the woody, for the Sunday pre-post past on game calls. Yep. Step up. You got a business in the New York area. You want to advertise. Let's go.
I would love
sponsor the Boy Green Coffee Club.
We've done a few sponsors over Boy Green Daily history and the game day shows. We've done a handful of them, but not many of them. But we're open for business. We would love to do it. I especially love partnering with Jets enthusiasts out there. So it'd be pretty gosh darn cool. Again, you guys can reach out to me. My email is on my YouTube description. That is Paul, ESDENJR @gmail.com for more info. Quick timeout and more coming up.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Boy Green, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets. Boy Green, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Nice. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go!
Hap, an absolute legend. Love that guy. Let's get one more super chat in here. Look, Truman Dumel again. He has been dominating, baby.
Wow.
Oh, it's 23 raffle tickets for our contest. Thank you, Truman, and keep those flowing, baby. Thoughts on when we play the Saints? I saw Audric Esteem is now on the Saints roster. He is a big Notre Dame guy, Pop here, Truman is, and thinks that could be a play. Now, anyone on a practice squad, you could just simply steal and sign them to your 53-man roster, which may come in handy if you and Alana are correct with the Breece Hall trade. All of a sudden, running back void would be there, and Audric Esteem could be added to the team. I do think on your Saints preview comment question, it could be a win. We'll have to see how the Jets are performing. I hope that we get our first win far before that Saints game if we can, and hopefully it comes tomorrow for that Bengals game. I'm going to rev the engine and try to get there. But anything you want to say here on the esteemed Saints Notre Dame stuff?
Yeah, that's exactly the tactic. That's great, Truman. Thank you for that. It's exactly what the Jets need to do. There are capable talent, on especially now with the expanded practice squad roster of each team. But it used to be 5. Now it's 15 plus or whatever the number is.
16 now, and then
16.
plus the roster exemption for Leonda Wiegand, our German friend. So we have 17 on the practice squad.
Yeah, and so 100% to scour the waiver wire. We don't, we trade away Breece. There is talent out there at running back that people are stashing away in the practice squad. And Audric has a lot of upside, and who knows? Right? Who knows? You give him the keys to the car of the Jets. You trade for him. He's more of a, Isaiah. I love the Jackrabbit, but he is more of a Breece Hall type. He's more of a third down back. Audric could come in, and be your pounder, the first and second down back. I think there's an opportunity there. And then, you have to do something. Be satisfied with something you have in your roster. Go out there, look. And Audric would be a very intriguing prospect.
All right, well, keep an eye out that one for Truman. And Truman, when that happens, you deserve like a Jets jersey for his team with how much you've brought him up. I love it, and we'll see. Let's go to the phone lines, Pop. We've got Hep, and before we even introduce Hep, there's a question for Hep immediately from Matthew Duran, who says, is Hep working on an electric guitar version? I can only imagine what that would sound like for Boy Green Daily. Good Lord, an electric guitar version. Is that your vibe, Hep?
Well, I did. I don't know if you remember, a long time ago, I made a thing with drums and bass and
Yeah.
electric guitar, but I tried to play it to you over over the thing.
Oh, I
But
remember.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but it came out. It was so like, see, I'm really good at doing that, but when it comes to transferring that to a digital format, that's where I'm kind of hooked up.
Oh,
You
I
know,
see. So
it might
we'll
be a
work on that,
generational
Matthew,
thing.
and
I
keep
don't
you posted. I do remember that now. Yes,
know.
we attempted that, and then the technical gods rained down hellfire in our fun game. So yes,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good
We got
point.
to get somebody to work on like a graphic of the Mount Rushmore of the coffee club. I know if it's an emoji, but
Oh, I see. Yes, yeah, we'll
Yeah, I
work on
wanted to
that.
say thank you for the kind words, Pop. And I wanted to tell everyone, we're all this just community here. We're all like brothers and sisters in here. And here we are on a team that's winless.
Yeah.
And we get together every day and we talk about it. And it's an amazing thing. And when this team turns it around and we start actually winning, I imagine the subscription is going to go way up. And
Mhm.
just hope you remember all us guys that were here with you in the trenches at the beginning.
100%. And to your point, someone else brought that up the other day too. That like, man, you guys are winless, and you do a daily show on this team. I'm like, hey, yeah, I've been doing it for 5 years. Like 5 years, Jesus. And I'm like, I'm like doing all this content together. So, I think you're right. It's gonna be worth it. Like, I keep bringing up that America's Team documentary I saw. Now it happened a little faster for the Cowboys, but 89 they go 1-15 with Jimmy Johnson. Like, Jesus, could anything else go wrong? And then 4 years later, they're in the Super Bowl, and Troy Aikman was talking about like, man, like being the worst team in the league and then winning the Super Bowl, the
Ah,
euphoria, the roller coaster
yeah.
swing to go to that. It was like, and he just explained it. And when they're holding the Lombardi, I closed my eyes and I just imagined us holding the Lombardi. And I'm like, and I was like talking to myself in the kitchen. Then my fiance came in and said, "What are you doing?" Because I was just going like, oh my God, we just won the Super Bowl. She went, and she was like, "What are you talking about? I thought you guys ever won a game." I'm like, Jesus, honey, give me a minute. So yes, but I've been envisioning it because that's going to be
Yeah.
the greatest moment of all time.
Well, quick jet news.
Yes.
The last press conference that Glenn gave, he was going off the rails a little bit. Did you notice that?
Oh
He,
yeah, that's what my pop was pointing out earlier. That
yeah,
like so he at first I think he tried, and he did this earlier in the week too to try. So there was a cute version of what Aaron Glenn does, and then there's like he starts getting pissy. So like the cute
yeah.
thing, like when someone said, "Hey, coach, who's going to be playing quarterback this week?" and he's like, "A quarterback will be playing." It's sort of cute chuckles back and forth, like, "Oh, of course the quarterback's going to be playing." There's that, and it looked like he was starting that, and then all of a sudden it turned feisty and nasty,
Real quick. Yeah,
where
yeah.
all of a sudden it went from where it seemed like he was going to play in those waters again, and then he started saying like, other teams do this, guys. Like, come
What
on,
did I say? What did
yeah,
I say? That kind
100%,
of thing.
right.
Yeah,
And they kept going after, and I couldn't,
yeah,
I know my pop's like, come on, guy, shut the bleep up. He's 0-7. I imagine the mounting pressure from everyone in the universe. How could he not see
yeah.
it? And he's trying to do what he can do to fight out of it. And I imagine that's getting questioned and pestered by the media for every decision you make is scrutinized, right?
Yeah.
He says the Hail Mary thing, then he does it again. That's inexplicable. What happens? Again, that's the job. That's why he's getting paid millions of dollars to do it. But when you're on the headset, you're making these split-second decisions that you have to immediately answer for seconds after, like an emotional loss or something of that
Yeah.
nature. So yes, I did notice it. Again, I think for AG, so much air is going to come out of the balloon if and when they get their first win. I don't think they're going winless. They get that first win, and everyone can just go, I get the playoffs aren't happening, but just breathe. And then the monkey's off the back, and hopefully they play looser because I think they're playing up tight right now. You talked about that a couple weeks ago, Hap, about everyone trying to make that play. Everyone thinking about, I'm sure, gripping the football of like, this is going to be the one that scores a touchdown. This is going to be the time that does this. And everyone's trying to do this hero ball thing.
Yeah.
I think when they win, there is just going to be this sort of relief. And for Jet fans, I'm sure that relief would be lovely to come sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I appreciate it. Hep, calling in on the show. Excellent action there on the program. All right, Pop, we're going to be here for a few more minutes before you put a bow on this puppy. Again, I want to give a massive shout out to the 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Thank you guys for all the compliments on the Greeny interview. Again, an absolute icon. That is so cool. And thank you everyone for the unbelievable super chats coming left and right. Truman Dumel, Chef Kevin Gilbert. We had Frank yesterday. Memberships from NC Green, Joshua Langley, MFC. Awesome. And I see we have this one coming in from JQuest57 giving a member shout out.
Wow.
Member for 4 months. Appreciate you, Johnny, a.k.a. JQuest57. I still believe in Glenn. Trust the process. Again, the process gets more difficult to trust on these kind of inexplicable decision-making, but I still believe in Glenn. And obviously Woody Johnson does. You haven't talked about those comments yet this week, Pop, but Woody Johnson hugs Aaron Glenn every day and tells him how much he believes in him. So the power of friendship, baby.
Douche.
That's,
Come here. Let Daddy give you a hug. That's a little creepy, dude. All right, calm down.
I get. We're gonna get our friend tomorrow.
He's just gonna hug him every day until one time he has a knife in his hand.
Jesus, I don't need any Game of Thrones. Cha 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 cha.
That's exactly. Actually, that's when that came up. The first time you mentioned that, I was going to type it in, but you dropped off. I was literally going to type that in. He's going to he's giving him the Jon Snow hug. Come here. I've got a hug for you.
And then
yeah. Let's do a little red wedding action. What?
See, again, I believe in this team. What a story is that going to be without Sauce, without Garrett, and getting their first win? That's a great coaching job by old AG, baby.
Yeah, I hope so. I have no.
Give your official prediction. It's prediction. You got to give your prediction before we dip and end the show. Go ahead, give your prediction for this one.
The Bengals will win by more than 10.
By more than 10?
By more than 10.
Wow. Okay.
Without Sauce, their inability to get the quarterback. I explained I kind of described, what they have to do on the offensive side of the ball, intentional quarterback runs, no matter whoever the mystery quarterback might be, intentional quarterback run plays. I would have Justin Fields doesn't start. He lines up in the slot. He does some.
They should have a Cordell slash package. They were showing that for the last Cowboys Steelers Super Bowl. Cordell Stewart, the little slash. He was in that.
That's game. I've been bringing up using him as slash for a long time. That's what he's better designed for. He's quick. He can run with the ball. Get him the ball out in space. Right. Move on. It's like Tim Couch, who won the Heisman from Nebraska a long time ago. He had unquestionable physical talents, but he was signed by somebody as a safety or something. Like he didn't play. He won the Heisman as a quarterback, but he was drafted to be some other. And I thought it was a defensive. But anyways, that's what Fields should do. They need to run the ball. They need to get the ball to Arian Smith more than once a game. Get the ball to Breece Hall. Right. Get a few plays for the Jackrabbit. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think I hope to be wrong. I think the defense, Flacco's going to be, we can look him up. His address is on the internet. Open for business. He's not moving. Open for business. Right? Go get him. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope they spread the ball around, intentional runs, and the defense gets after it because they better get after it because the secondary is thin. So
2 things. Number 1, the Jets will win by at least 1 point.
Nobody believes your prediction skills blow.
Hey, you know what?
You said the Jets are going to win 12 games. We didn't know you meant across 5 seasons.
See? So that means I was right. Okay. And I would say this also, give a salute. Carl Lawson, former Jets $45 million free agent signing, is back in the NFL, baby. He's had the last 9 months off, and he's joining the 1-5 Baltimore Ravens. And he was waiting for the quote unquote right opportunity. So shout out to Carl Lawson. And he was on your Cowboys last year, had 5 sacks. Very nice. And so a big salute to Carl Lawson. But yes, my prediction, the Jets win by at least 1 point, baby. And that's all it takes.
All right. Well, I hope you're right. And in a few weeks, we're going to be doing the show back from Romania. So it'll be coming up in a couple weeks, 2 weeks from today, as a matter of fact.
All right. Well, let me see. Let me do this real quick. Okay. La Revedere, which is goodbye in Romanian. Okay. La Revedia, everybody. La Revedia.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
let
sure
me see
you're
this.
not pronouncing that correctly.
Okay, let me get this one. Okay. Castigiga Jokul. Castigiga Jokul. Win the game. Castigiga Jokul, baby. Romanian for win the game.
That definitely, I think your accent is horrible.
Castigiga Jokul. Remember that, folks?
That sounds like you're like that
Castigiga
scene
Jokul.
from second Ace Ventura when he's out in the jungle. That's what it's.
Okay, I just heard it. So I'm on Google and I just heard the woman pronounce it. Castiga Jokul.
Oh, yes, that's more European. Yes.
Castiga Jokul. Castiga Jokul.
There you go. Now you've got that European flavor to it. It's a nice show.
Well, yeah, okay, believe it, everybody. There you go, Sharon. Castiga Jokul. Jet 17.
1 point.
Bengals 15. All right, so Romanian it up, baby. Castiga Jokul, and we'll see you next time. Oh, wait, actually, let me get one more in here, Pop. What is this in Romanian? Okay, let me hear them say it. Video clipul. Like the video, baby, in Romanian. That is Cavida Clipul. Cavida Clipul. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next time. Take care. What a show.